Well, even before the summer driving season, oil hitting $80 a barrel this week, the highest point in 3.5 years. And rising tension in the Middle East could send that number higher as prices at the pump continue to rise. Here to explain it all for us, former president of Shell Oil Company, John Hofmeister, joining us from Houston. Nice to see you, sir. We appreciate it. Sky's the limit here, or what's going on?
Well, we're at the first wave of higher prices. We'll see more higher prices as this year, next year unfold. Remember, we had low oil prices for the last 3 years, and that meant a lot of investments did not take place to produce new oil. So we've gotten rid of the glut. Now we have no investment that has been done in the last 3 years to produce new oil in the quantities that we need. Plus, on top of that, with all the advances in shale oil in the U.S., that oil does not make the kind of diesel, jet fuel, or heating oil that markets need. So we have a real problem on our hands that there's only one way to solve it, in my opinion.
And that is?
Well, this is a chance for President Trump to do what his predecessors never did and to open up the regulations which allow us to use natural gas as a fuel for our automobiles, whether that is ethanol, methanol, liquefied natural gas, or compressed natural gas. We could eliminate the role of OPEC. We could eliminate the volatility in oil prices that we face every few years by using natural gas as a transportation fuel. And it only takes some regulatory changes to make it happen.
That has happened in other countries, I know, especially in Israel. They use gas in a number of automobiles. But before we get to that, from a consumer standpoint, gas prices tend to lag oil prices a little bit. And as you point out, what's produced in the United States isn't necessarily the very best for gasoline, especially some of the stuff coming out of Ohio and Pennsylvania. So how high do gas prices go as oil prices continue to rise with your prediction?
Well, I think we're going to go back to the experience, in the 2010 to 2012 period, where we're probably going to be looking at triple-digit crude oil price and $4 gasoline somewhere in the next year to 2 years, and that's going to have a negative effect on consumer demand. And so we need less expensive fuels, and that's where natural gas comes in, if we're going to make a material difference. And President Trump has that opportunity.
The other place that President Trump has a lot to say about is foreign policy. You have the possible summit with the North Koreans, but on the flip side of that, at least when it comes to oil prices and affecting them, you have the continued feeling of a conflict possibly coming with Iran. How significant is that? How significant is the increased rhetoric?
Well, I think that Iran is going to get its oil to the market one way or another. So I don't think we're going to see oil shortages just by putting certain prohibitions on people buying Iranian oil. There are people out there that will violate those prohibitions, and Iranian oil will get to the market one way or another. But again, why should we have to worry about international oil when we have so much domestic energy in our own country? That means we don't even have to import oil if we were to use natural gas as a transportation fuel.
Well, you are certainly a good spokesman for natural gas. We appreciate you being here. Your insight, sir, as well. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All the best.